its only purpose is for that card, right? It won't get commingled with anything. So if I was ever audited, then it isn't the perfect way to do things, but ultimately, as long as there's not a lot of commingling with other stuff, then it shouldn't be an issue. But it isn't it isn't perfectly by the book. I agree. But I talked to him about the risk and different things we could run into, and he's like, just don't commingle. That'll make it less of a problem if you get audited. But at the opportunity, obviously, I'm glad I did it, and I didn't hold off and worry about that too much because, obviously, I'm moving for $100,000 in 2 months on it. So it's like, that's a lot of money. That's a huge, and you think about that compounding effect, and it's compounding.
Mike opened up a personal bank account
if it keeps growing at any rate here,
for his crypto
then,
credit card because
it goes for
business
6 to 8 months.
accounts or credit cards take much longer
Getting some tax advice
to get, and he
probably.
didn't want to delay getting in.
So yeah,
at the
I would do
price
it
he
that
got
way.
in
That
on.
was the thing I found to work around it. But if you want to do it out of your business, then there is a way to do that, I believe, but I'm not sure how. Right, and I think right now it's so busy and such a bad time to do it. Probably the best time to do that would be when things cool off in 6 to 8 months, and then they'll be happy to kind of work with you. But they're so booked up now. That's why it takes like 3 weeks to get a card and get verified, because it's like the industry is growing insanely because so many institutions are getting into it. They're finally just like the big players are getting into it now. Like Apple's going to be investing, and PayPal's invested, and Elon Musk and all the big players are getting involved, which is creating legitimacy. It had already been a very legitimate area, but it was just something the government was fighting with. Now the government's decided they want to back it, and it's all good now. So once you get the government to sign off, there's a small window of it being amazing, and then eventually they'll come in and work their magic of destroying it over the next 20 years. So that's just what they do in general, because they don't want us making too much money. They want to make sure they make the lion's share of it. But there will be a nice window and opportunity, and that's between now and like the next 10 years would be my guess. That great time to get into some stuff. I have a lot of coaches too, so I'm not just spouting this out of my mouth. I've spent about $15K in coaching in 2 months, but I'm also up quite a bit, so the coaching's working. So I am spending a lot of money on it so that I can make sure I'm doing some smart stuff and learning some stuff. And I've been studying about 3 to 4 hours a day for 2 months. So obviously you guys know when I go this deep into something, I generally don't get to, I get usually a decent feel for it and overall. So just the way that I can take the money that I already had and just grow it some instead of letting it sit.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. So how about anybody working on some rehabs? You need